All right, welcome everybody to Sunday night. Let me show you a screen on Discord. I mean on Twitch that's much more better than this, what you're looking at now. Here we go. No, not that. This one. All things Fantasy Grounds talk shows meant to teach and help, but the opinions stated by the show by the four of us are not that of Smiteworks USA, LLC, Fantasy Grounds, or DM School. That's the first time I've ever said that. Welcome. We're going to be talking about sounds and Sirenscape and all that. Part 2, we did it like a couple years ago. Before we get to our special guest, let me introduce my co-hosts. Mr. Drake, how are you?
Doing good. Happy Sunday, everybody. I am looking forward to tonight because Matakiri is awesome.
Yeah, he's a resident genius. We have a few.
Yeah.
Well, at least two. He's
if I have a question about Fantasy Grounds, there's no one else in the whole wide world I would ask except for Matakiri.
Yeah, because
really?
knows shit.
And I do.
All right. And yes, Fury Fate, how are you?
I'm good. I had a whole weekend full of Dungeons and Dragons. I played Dungeon of the Mad Mage on Friday. I played oh god, what is it? Some game on Saturday, and today I was playing Curse of Strahd.
Now, tell me about your Saturday and Sunday games. Who do you play those with?
So Sunday, it's actually an in-person game over at my brother's house. So it's me, my brothers, my husband, and a couple of my brother's friends.
Wow, kitchen table D&D, that is amazing.
Yeah, old school and everything. We have our figurines. We get out map tiles. We're
nice.
Pen and paper or pencil and paper. I shouldn't say pen and paper. Pencil and paper. I have really cute notes that I color code. So the guys rely on me to like, what happened? I'm like, let me tell you.
It'd be nice if you did that in the Friday game. And now, what about Saturday?
Saturday I am playing a druid fighter. It was Praetor's Rejects.
Oh, Praetor's Rejects. Fuck that piece of shit. All right, let's get on with the show. Our special guest today is Matakiri. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Poor Matakiri's like, oh man, I'm in the middle of fuck Praetor's Rejects. I didn't ask for this. Apologies to you. But not to Fury. And so this is the thing. Matakiri is part of Team Tui. He's basically the reason that anybody does anything in Fantasy Grounds. I'm going to just toot his horn here for a minute because people just don't know. I mean, I'm sure people do know, but if you think you know, you don't know. This guy is amazing. He has like some kind of brain that I don't know what happens in there. I don't get it, but it's amazing. So he's here tonight giving us his time graciously to talk about all things sound. And I'm just going to let you, I'm going to go find your screen here, and then I'm just going to let you do what you want to do. Take it away, and we'll handle questions from the chat, and we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. Well, the primary sound extension that I'm talking about tonight is one of my extensions that I published with Team Tui. It was actually my very first extension. It was the Sirenscape extension. So if you don't use Sirenscape, it's not going to be quite as helpful. But if you don't, you should, because it's a really, really great way to add sounds into your gaming. And the extension makes it really easy to use from right within Fantasy Grounds. You don't really need to do much of anything else in terms of getting it up and running and using it. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
Cool. And I just put the link in the chat to for the Forge where people can get it if they are so inclined. Remember, this used to be a DM's Guild title. It is no longer a DM's Guild title unless you own it on the DM's Guild. Then you still have it, but it is no longer for sale there. It is now for sale on the Fantasy Grounds Forge, and there's the link to that in the chat.
If you do own it, updates will be pushed to both places whenever there's an update. So
Yes.
you're not going to lose anything having purchased it on DM's Guild. You just don't necessarily get the automatic update capability that the Forge added in. So let's see what to cover. So I've got my Sirenscape player here running, and you guys won't be able to hear it because you're not.
Can I link into your thing?
Yeah, give me 1 second and I will get you hooked in.
So I've got mine open. I'm in Drake's game right now. You can see everybody, and he'll give me a link, and then I can hook into his so we can hear his stuff.
I'm gonna hook into it too because I want to hear.
And that should connect you into my Sirenscape. We'll see their names pop up here on the window when they
All right,
connect
let's
in.
see if I can even figure out how to just even. Okay, now I should go to my thing and it should say Matakiri, and it does. Boom, like that.
All right, yeah, Rob Tui joined the game. We should see Drake join here shortly. So anyway, so once you've got Sirenscape, the extension loaded up, we've got version 20 loaded here. We'll pop open the Sirenscape window. If you don't see it here, as always, under the options, you can turn it on in the sidebar. It'll be there. And I'm not going to go through all of the setup because that's been covered in multiple videos on YouTube and on this show from previous ones.
Oh, I have a question though. But did setup change when everything migrated from Classic to Unity?
There was no change whatsoever in the setup.
Okay.
You had to redo it one time if you were using Sirenscape Online. The registering your authentication token had to be redone, but that's a one-time thing. And other than that, no, there was no change at all.
Sweet.
Both Classic and Unity work the same way in how it handles all of the sound and stuff. So without going into all of the setup part of it, it's really easy to use, and you just search for sounds like Fireball and find one you like and click the play button. You should have heard Fireball go off.
Yeah.
And a couple of little things that you can do here just to demonstrate. Let me grab a story entry. Just take a blank story entry, and there's a couple of ways you can link to your sounds. You can link to the record of it, and so when you click on it, it'll open up that sound and you can click play. But you can also drag either the play or the stop button as well. Now, it adds the little play to the end of the name of it, but when you do it that way, you can single click right in the story entry and immediately begin playback.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't even need to open the window.
So the party comes around the corner, and when they emerge from the exit, they are met with a fireball. You just click the button.
You just click the button, and you can actually do that right from a battle map as well. So if I were to take said fireball and drag the play button, it will create a red link, and I can click it.
Oh my God, I didn't even know some of this
And
stuff.
you can also, that I do a lot, is I hotbar them, the play button.
Yes, you can hotbar them down here, and then you can just hit F7 and have it play. One habit that I've gotten into with all of my games is F12 over here on the right is the stop all button.
Yeah, mine's the F1. Mine is set at F1.
Yeah, because a
Stop all.
lot of those sounds, even if they're not music beds, they they play for a really long time, and sometimes you don't want it to go, a minute or whatever it is.
Well, that brings up a good point. We can talk a little bit about why that is. There's kind of two basic sound types in Sirenscape that are commonly used, and there's the one shots and moods. One shots are exactly that. They're intended to be used one time. They don't loop. They play and then stop, and they don't interrupt whatever's currently playing. Whereas moods are a very complex mixture of many different sounds. They're designed to loop. There might be music, there might be sounds of battle in the background, and all of that kind of stuff. And they will just keep playing and playing and playing and playing. And some of the things are randomized, so it's not going to sound the same over and over and over. So if you're playing a mood, it'll just keep on playing until you either stop it or start another mood. Whereas one shots, you can just kind of fire them and they'll play on top of whatever's already playing. So the stop all that I referred to here, if you come up to the groupings, there is a Sirenscape Sound Links group, which is named, you can see differently from all of the rest of them. All the rest are sounds, board game, sci-fi, Pathfinder, whatever. But this last one has these stop all buttons, and it depends on which player you use, fantasy player, sci-fi player, or the online player. And I like with the stop all buttons, it doesn't matter if you click play or stop, it's actually the same link. So either way,
That's funny.
you stop everything. So I like to drag the stop button and make that my F12. Drake, you use F1 just to keep it easy. All right, let's see what else we got here. You can filter out sounds based on either their product. You can select from the drop-down list from the sound set. Now, a product might be a bigger thing, like the entire Dungeons and the Mad Mage would be one product, but it's going to contain multiple sound sets. And the sound, there might be 5, 6, 7, 8 sound sets for Dungeons of the Mad Mage. In fact, let's see. Yeah, here's Dungeons of the Mad Mage. We can see there's for level 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 all have their own individual sound sets. It takes a little bit to get used to the naming scheme of how they put it. This is how Sirenscape refers to it internally. So that's the only information that I have for that. Goes to Salt Marsh and whatever. When you want to filter it by a sound set, you can also filter it by type. Most of the time, you're only going to want to use mood or one shot. Music and special effect, I think special effect really should be sound effect. Those are other special sounds within Sirenscape that are used to produce moods. And so all of that would be done in their online sound set creator. So you generally don't need to touch them here in Fantasy Grounds, but you can if you want. I typically only use one shots and moods. But you can filter it out on one shots and then, find out the information, find whichever one is going to play what you're thinking. There we go.
What kind of systems requirements are needed for this function property while using FGU with multiple players linked to the game?
So the setup process requires that both the DM and each of the players, well, let me back up. The extension will work with any of the Sirenscape players. So there's generally 3 commonly used players. There's the Sirenscape online player, Sirenscape fantasy player, and Sirenscape sci-fi player. There's also a board game player, but hardly anybody uses that one. And so this extension from within Fantasy Grounds will work with any of the players, and that's just an option that you set. If you go to the options, there's a Sirenscape setting section, and there's a player type that's defaulted to online. Personally, I find online to be the easiest one. Fantasy and sci-fi does not push sound to your player, so it's a little bit more complex in setting up and routing the audio. If you are interested in going that route, take a look on the forums and the Sirenscape forums. Look for any of Gwydion's posts, his videos that he does. He does some great videos showing how you can do that routing of the sound in a nice way. So once you got your authentication token registered for the Sirenscape Online, you have your DM has the Sirenscape Online player open and running on their machine, and your players each will have to download and install the Sirenscape Online player and join your game. Now, that's a very simple process.
Free, yeah.
Yeah, they only need a free account. They do not need a paid account. The way you do that is you come to your, from here in Sirenscape, you go to your control panel, and there is a invite link, and you just copy that and paste it and have your players click on it, and they will join your game. And that's exactly what we just did with Rob and Drake joining it so that they can hear what I play back now. And once you do that, then any sounds that you trigger or play will automatically be played back on all of your players' machines, so they can all hear it. And it works on Mac, it works on Windows, it works on Linux. They have players now for all of those operating systems.
Back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to throw in a word of disdain there.
Next up, I guess chat triggers is one that is very commonly used, and that actually is a good lead into another thing that I want to talk about. Chat triggers allow you sounds based on text that appears in chat. So you can create one, and don't worry about how complicated these look. You can create much simpler ones, but basically this is going to play a sound if it says the word alligator or crocodile in the chat. So if I type that in or say something, it'll make that alligator crocodile sound. So it monitors chat. You can set it up to find only messages that are visible to all of the players. You can have it look at only hidden messages that the DM can see. You can have it include things like the player's name in the checking, so that you can really customize it and you can create them all. I do have a product that Rob's published, my chat triggers module, that comes with pre-made 5th edition chat triggers for tons of spells and other attacks like battle axe attacks or longsword or bow or whatever. And it will automate that process of playing back one-shot sounds for you. You can auto trigger moods, but if you do, and then it'll stop playing whatever previous mood you might have had running. So I find that one annoying to chat trigger on moods.
There's a question from Twitch. Gixers wants to know, last week someone mentioned that you could use Discord bot to play the sounds in your Discord voice chat. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. I don't know how to set it up. The person you want to chat with on that is Gwydion. So if you head over to Rob's Discord and look for Gwydion, and he has all the information on that. He has tons of YouTube videos. If I had the links handy, I would point you to them. But he has some amazing videos on how to set that up and how to route the sound. It's a little more complicated, as I said, but once you get it set up, it can work really well.
And this is how you spell. This is Gwydion here, Gwyddion, and he is in my Discord. He's usually right. He's got his own Discord channel too, but you can find him there.
Yeah,
I think he made a video today, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and go to YouTube and look for. Now on YouTube, he's maybe Gwyddion with an E on the end of it, or well, here I'll look at his. I'll find out what he is on YouTube, because he's his names are Gwydion apparently is a character's name from a video game, and so sometimes he doesn't get it. But let's look him up and I'll give you the right. See, I don't think that's it. Let's find him.
All your stuff with
well,
his
it's all
name
my
on it.
stuff, yeah. Oh wait, if I go to if I just go to my channel, I think I have him linked, so I can maybe find that. All right, let's calm down with the sound because we don't want to hear that.
Gwyn's really good with like his sound and everything, because I still remember that time we played the Haunt and he had all those sound triggers for the module. I thought that was really great.
So he's Lord Gwydion, and I'll just put the link right in the Twitch chat for you guys if you want to go to his YouTube. He's got plenty of, like Fury said, he's got just amazingly, and not just Sirenscape. He's like an audiophile. He does like one video a week about sound crap that he finds, and he PMs me, and I'm like, and it's just the Charlie Brown teacher. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. All right, back to you,
So-
Manicure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. On that note, I wanted to talk about some new things that are with both the extension and just in general dealing with this system that we have running. First off, if you have purchased new sounds or if you upgraded your subscription or if new sounds have been released, I always recommend that you go ahead and update your sound links module. So all of the links to all of the sounds are stored in that module that you're going to have loaded, right? So to update it, you now have two options. First is you just click on this update sound links, and that will open up a website, which I've got here. This is my super high quality 1995 era website. And all you got to do is download your CSV file. You just click on this link and it'll download it into your downloads folder. Choose that file and click submit. Now this little web application that I wrote will automatically take your CSV file that Sirenscape provides to you, and it will convert it into a Fantasy Grounds module for you. I recently learned that some of the users who do a lot of sounds or have the bigger subscriptions are starting to run into errors, file size errors. So I've upgraded the max file size that this application can handle. So it should be good for the foreseeable future. But that said, there is a new thing that I wanted to share, and that's here on the Fantasy Grounds forum. One of the users on the Fantasy Grounds forum contacted me earlier this year and asked me about creating a new application. This is a Windows executable application that is just amazing. And it allows you to automatically create sound triggers. This is especially useful for other rule sets like non-5th edition where I've already created them. But if you're using Pathfinder or Savage Worlds or any of these other ones that are out there, you can use this to help make it easy. And I'm not an expert on this application by any means. It's there on the Fantasy Grounds forums. The link should be in the chat now.
Yep, I just put it in the chat. I put the wrong link, everybody, but I got the right one there now.
But one little feature that he added in that I didn't realize he was gonna add in was, and I've got the application here. You just download it and run the exe file. And the feature that he added in that I found real handy is here in the tools, he has a convert CSV to your sound links module. So you can do it without, here I click on the CSV, click open, and the application will automatically generate a new module that has all of my sound links. So you don't even have to use the website. It's much faster and you can do it anytime you like. And if my website's down for maintenance, you can, do it anytime you want. So
you're saying this thing is faster?
This will be faster than my website.
Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
Because it's running on your machine rather than running on my server.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, when your power supply overheats, things like that.
Melts happen.
When your computer just randomly screams Sirenscape out of the speakers and you don't know what it is, you think it's a ghost because it's just working so hard.
Now, I have had some really weird situations with that because I play in Drake's games and we end the session and I forget to close Sirenscape, and then the next day he's testing something for a different campaign.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden my speakers will blare out.
And when I stream, right? So I turn that thing on very early, and then a half hour before the show I'm hearing farting and burping, and that's usually Diablo Bob. But that thing will just be open and I'll forget, and then it'll come through. And the stream knows it too because it's through the stream.
Hot mic.
Hot sounds. Yep. And it's funny if you scroll down a little bit there, Manicure, This is how much of an audiophile Gwydion is. He's the first person to post on that guy's.
That's funny.
He's already
Is that
there
all
with
right
this.
there?
Anything sound, he's all over it.
Yep. All right. So a couple other things to take a look at. I noticed earlier there was a question about making your own sound sets. That's not really part of the extension, but in the master interface, if you have a super siren subscription, so it doesn't work for any of the lower level subscriptions, but their highest level subscription, you can actually create your own sound sets. You can upload your own music files or sounds, effects or whatever, and create your own moods, create your own one shots, whatever you want to do. I'm not an expert on that. If you want to learn how to do that, you can go to the Sirenscape's YouTube, and there's a bunch of tutorial videos on how you can do that. Once you have created them, then you just need to download your CSV again and update your module using the website or this new application, and all of the sounds you create will now be in Sirenscape for you. So it's very, very easy to do.
And I made about 50 and imported it in, so it's not that hard once you get into it and figure it out. It's pretty good. Just beware that it's going to take up 27 hours of your life in a row, which is
Yeah,
just drags you in.
27. TXC Boy 36, which might be Toxic Boy 36. Does Matacuries mods for Sirenscape? I'm assuming he means work with on Celestian's 2E rule set.
it should. I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
Yeah, because this is not 5e. One of the reasons we had to move it was because it's not 5e dependent. It should work in any more core, or I mean,
It should work in any of the
core
core
RPG.
RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad more core has the word core in it and core RPG, and I can't get it straight. I can't ever get that right. It's like August and October. Yesterday I was, because when you look at the date and it's the 8th month and 8 is Oct, I always say October for August. I don't know what, I can't break myself of it. And it used to be
Well,
correct like
because
400 years ago.
October used to be the 8th month, but then they
50,
shifted
50
down.
years that I never thought of that, Robin. You just ruined it all of a
Now
sudden.
you're never going to
Damn
not
it.
think of that when you look at it.
There's 2 new features in the most recent release, so I'll kind of cover those. You can see how I dragged the links over, and that kind of created a kind of a pseudo soundboard where you can just click them to autoplay. But I decided to make it a little bit easier to create soundboards. So you can just click on soundboards now and open up. I created a test one here. And each soundboard will have 18 slots. When they're locked, all you do is click on the button to play back the sound. When it's unlocked, then you have access to the links, and you can drag a link over and then lock it again and click it to play back the sound.
Not to put you on the spot, but I am absolutely going to put you on the spot. Is there a way that when you have that there, it can have labels?
It does have the label of the sound if you mouse
Oh, it
over
does.
them.
Okay. My bad. Cool. Sweet.
One feature that is going to be coming, I'm waiting on an artist to provide a little bit of artwork, but it's going to change it so that it's not these numbers. When you assign a sound, it's going to put a little image here to indicate what type of sound, whether it's a mood or a one shot or whatever. But it will.
Nice. So there'll be like 3 different graphics or whatever.
Yeah, there'll be
Cool.
different graphics for each of these
Sweet.
to see what it is. So that's soundboards. It's very, very simple to use. You just unlock it, drag and drop whatever link you want, and then lock it again, and you're good to go.
And was there a specific reason
I
why
made a whole
there's
sound
18?
module.
Just because it fit nicely.
Oh, okay.
It just laid out nicely. I didn't want to have like only 6 and then you have to have 50 of these open. But it kind of fits nicely on the width of a story entry.
Gotcha.
I like the bell. The bell's tolling.
For you.
And then the last feature is something that was just recently added by Sirenscape on their end. And that was the ability to control the volume using links. So I'm able now to have a volume control from within Fantasy Grounds. So when you open the volume control panel, there's two types of volumes that you interact with as a DM. You have the global volume and your global one-shot volume. So global volume is for moods, and one-shot volume is for all of the one-shot elements. And these correspond to these two volume sliders on the master interface. You have your master volume and your one-shot volume.
Uh-oh, are we supposed to be seeing
Dude.
something?
Yeah, I think we froze somewhere.
Yeah, I just see, yeah, his desktop.
Okay.
Try that again.
Let me try and share again.
We're sorry. We're having temporary technical difficulties. Please stand by.
I like how the beginning of that was the you've called a number that didn't connect.
Yeah.
Da-na-na. So I see your
We're sorry.
Sirenscape browser window.
Sirenscape just
Oh,
takes over.
So there is the
there we
master
go.
volume
Okay.
up here in the top left, and the one-shot volume just to the right of it. And so in Fantasy Grounds, we can, let me move it down. And if I click on this +5 or -5, it'll slowly increase the volume.
What? Get the hell out of here. That's amazing.
Are you seeing Fantasy Grounds?
Yeah, we're seeing the whole thing, man.
Yeah. We're seeing both. It looks cool.
I really like that. Like, it's so nice of Ben to have allowed like interactive API, or you know what I mean. Like some companies won't let you mess with their stuff, but he's so accommodating.
Yeah, Ben is great. He's
Yeah.
been super easy to work with, super
Oh
responsive.
yeah, and he loves us. He's been on the show twice. I mean, he loves us.
And Doug said, I heard it out of his lips on stream, so it's not revealing anything, that he would love to work with Sirenscape
Oh
on
yeah,
doing
he's said
sounds
that before.
internally.
I think he's been saying that
Yeah.
since the beginning. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of working it out and everybody's time, and
Yeah.
because you're gonna have to set aside, like Doug will have to pick at least one, maybe two people to sit there and do crap forever to make it all work.
So there's your global volume. This is the little relative plus minus, or you can just like one shot crank it all the way up to 150 or crank it down to 0. One thing with this volume, this affects all sounds that you are going to be playing. So this affects everything that your players are going to hear, and it's all relative. So each player has their own individual, volume slider that they can choose up or down, but all of that will be affected by whatever we set the volume in the global master volume.
Oh, by the way, apologies. I put the link to join your game in the Twitch chat, so you might get a few people. Like I saw Mosk and Foz said he joined your game, because that's
Nice.
totally my fault. I put the wrong link in.
That's all right. That's easy to regenerate. Yeah, so you can. I like to keep my moods a little lower because they tend to be loud and overpowering, and then the one shots I like to crank up a little bit higher to make them easier to hear. And
Yeah.
one shots only go to 100, while moods for some reason go to 150.
Goes to 11.
And that's the new volume control, because Sirenscape added this in. It's really cool of them to. They got a bunch of requests, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we can do that."
That was a good
Are
impression of
those
Ben. That was pretty spot on, Ben, right there.
buttons draggable to hotbar or story entries?
They are not. That's a good idea. I could make them draggable. I'd have to think about how to format them as a link, but that certainly should be possible.
Because I could see where I would like do a soundboard with a certain sound and then want it at 150 and be able to click it real quick, in the
Hmm.
But the
I
volume
can see a
button
use for it.
itself is draggable, isn't it?
No, it's
Mm.
not set up to be draggable.
The
Not
one
currently.
the no, but the volume that opens the Sirenscape volume control, the button that opens that. Yeah, that's draggable, isn't it?
No,
Oh, it's not. Oh, wow.
no. None of these top buttons are
Okay.
draggable.
So you have to start with your Sirenscape button on the right, which you have to remember to open
Yep.
because it's not part of you. And what we didn't say, but that should be obvious to everybody, is before you load your table, you must turn on that extension.
Yeah,
'Cause
if you don't see
if you
Sirenscape,
buy it and download it and then open Fantasy Grounds and don't turn on the extension, you're going to be emailing Medicare. Oh, this doesn't fucking work. You know, we get a lot of that.
Yeah, then you gotta
You got to know what the
turn
hell you're
on
doing.
the tab too from
From
the
this, yeah, exactly.
options window.
Right.
From the options window. Yeah.
So there is a few steps before you can start fireballing your players with audio.
yeah, and if you're using the fantasy player or sci-fi player, you have to make sure that you run the Sirenscape player and you download the sound sets that you're going to be using, because they don't auto download all of your sounds for you the way the online player does.
Oh, the old school way. You remember when we used to do it that way before the online player?
Oh yeah, we had, what was it? We did clean feed for a while. We
Yeah.
used the virtual audio cables to route sound to clean feed, and then the players could connect or to a Discord bot, or there's a lot of different routing.
I must have watched Rob's video 100 times.
Which one?
The one where you're setting up the sounds the old school way.
Oh, you're
the
the one who
Discord
made
bot.
that video the most
Yeah.
popular on YouTube because you watched it 1,000
Yeah.
times.
I did. I mean, at least like certain parts of it, I actually
wonder-
saved a certain part of it.
You know what's funny about that? I think I went into the description of that video and said that we don't do this anymore or something. Let me see. Round 2E sounds. What the hell happened there?
I ended up writing an entire Google Doc describing all of the different settings because I couldn't remember it.
Oh God, I can never find. I have 1,100 videos and I don't know how to find any of them.
So have we had any questions in the chat while Rob looks that up?
Yeah, I think there are a couple in there. God.
Diablo Bob asks if I've had dinner with Ben yet. No, he's in Australia.
If he invited you to dinner in first class, you would go, wouldn't you?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of dangerous, isn't it? And isn't it under lockdown?
Yeah. Well, they're not any worse off than the U.S.
Yeah, I put as of 2020, this info is depreciated, is what I put in the description. Because this was 2017, so this is 4.5 years ago that this was applicable. Now everything's done differently. You used to have to get Discord and Discord PTB, which I don't even know if you can get anymore, and it's insane. But now we just do things the Maticuri way because that's the best way.
I like it.
You like it because you did it.
I made it the way I wanted
and
it.
by the way, everybody, we are going to give away a prize. Here's the thing. Ooh, I knew this day was coming. I would like to give away these actual things he's talking about, but they're on the Forge, which does not yet have gifting. Yeah, like I can't buy it and then give it to you or send it to you, or I can't do that. It doesn't. We don't. Apparently you can transfer gold person to person. I read about, but I just I don't want to get into it. But what we will do is give away anything you want that's on DM's Guild, because that's really all the power I have. I can't give you anything that's on the Forge, We just don't have a way to do it. In the future, we're hoping that happens, but right now we can't do it. So, keyword raffle. Let's give away DM's Guild item. So this will be any item on the DM's Guild that has my name on it. So all of Matakiri's other wonderful things are available there. How many do you have on the Forge? 6?
On the Forge?
Yeah.
Well, with you 4, and then I have a bunch of free ones that are out there, like my font extensions and stuff are there on the Forge.
Yeah, you've got 6 of mine on the Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 with you, and then
6 with me. Diablo Bob has 3. Troy has 2. Javin has 1. Kent has 1. And then Mad Nomad has 6, but they're under his. He uploaded them.
And there's still some on DM's Guild for some reason.
There is
extensions, yeah.
None of the but none of the ones they named are still available on DM's Guild. They're all down because I checked them individually, and I had to go through and fix our packages and our bundles and all that kind of stuff.
And for anybody that's listening, if you are used to updating on DM's Guild by going to the product page and then downloading from the product page, you won't be able to do that anymore because the product page is no longer available. You have to go into your library in DM's Guild, and the updates will appear there. So the product will still be listed in your library, but it won't be listed anywhere else on the DM's Guild website.
And you know what's really funny about that is for about the last 2 years, I could never update from the product page. I would always click on it and it would say, you got to clear your cat. And it was a giant problem. I was never able to do it from the product page. I always had to go here to the library. But yeah, this is what you're looking for. You just go to your account, click on my library, and you know, if you sort it by date, you will see like with the most recent. That's 2016. I did it backwards. The most recent, like I just updated the features, whatever day that was yesterday. So yeah, you can go here and get your last few ones that have been updated. All right, let's do the raffle. Let's do a raffle. So what should the keyword be?
Not the Forge.
What about sound?
What about what?
Just sounds.
Oh yeah, sounds.
Yeah, noise.
Okay, so let's start that. And if you want to enter the drawing,
Sounds.
Type in the Twitch chat !sounds, and then you will be entered into the drawing, and I will pick a winner, and then you can take any item on DM's Guild that you want. Any single item, no packages, please. Don't be greedy. I keep saying packages. I need to say bundles because packages aren't a thing anymore. It's bundles, but no bundles. And by the way, I didn't necessarily mean that this is supposed to be the end of the show. I just thought it would be a good time to give away a prize. So if you have more stuff, Manicure, you want to share with people, we can do that.
Well, there's not really more to share about the Sirenscape extension. But if there's any other questions about any of my extensions in general, I am working on a similar little type of application, downloadable application, to convert the CSV into Sirenscape SoundLinks module. I'm trying to make it so that it will work on Windows, Mac, or Linux. So I'm hoping to have that maybe later this week. But that'll just be free, and I'll post it there in the Discord and in the Fantasy Grounds forums and whatnot. But yeah, any questions on any of my other extensions or products that I've done, or anything really, Fantasy Grounds?
Come on over to the Discord, and you can scroll down, and he's got his own support channel, Matakire stuff right here. Boom. And for those of you that don't know or aren't a member already, how dare you? There's the link to Discord. Okay, let's pick a winner. The winner is
Drum roll, please.
Torpedo 62.
Right, Torpedo.
I believe Torpedo's won before. You know what to do. Go to DM's Guild, punch in my name, search for a thing you want, and then send me a personal private message, person to person, DM as it's called, although that direct message in Dungeon Master is very upsetting. It's the same. Send that to me in Discord with your email address and your choice, and I'm giving you 16 minutes. I want you to do that before the top of the hour because I don't want to wait all night. People don't realize when I give away prizes, I sit there and I wait for them to respond to me. And I used to not tell people, could you hurry up? Bane, you have 10 minutes, go. Yeah, and so I would sit there all
10
night
minutes.
waiting. Oh, 5-10 minutes.
So there was a question in chat from Gixer first on once you've got a mod from the Forge, what do you do with it? And so real quick, if you get something on the Fantasy Grounds Forge, all you need to do is open up Fantasy Grounds and click the update button. So I'm back out of my campaign and just click update, and that'll automatically download it to where it needs to go. If you purchased it off the DM's Guild, then you have to manually download it, put mods in the modules folder, extensions in the extensions folder, whatever. And then once you have that in place, then you just, when you're going to load your campaign, there's a list of extensions. And so you make sure you turn it on. And for example, here are my font extensions, the Montserrat, Open Sans, Roboto, etc. And here's my Sirenscape one. Make sure that it's selected and then hit start, and then you're good to go.
Right. And I'll show you guys here. I'll update my software and I'll show you guys where it checks the Forge. If it shows up on my screen, hello. Yeah. So watch, it'll say Forge subscriptions, and then it's getting me my 17 Forge subscriptions right there. That's the first thing it does. And then once it's updated, you can do what Matakiri showed you to do. Just start the program, make sure you got your extensions turned on, and you'll be good to go.
And then if you want to turn that extension off, you have to do it through the Forge as well. Or take it out of your to load.
Yeah, but no, I can't
if
think
you're
of
done
any.
with it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I can't think of any reason why somebody would want to do that. I mean, you can do it, but turning them on and off is done here. Downloading them onto your hard drive, I can't imagine why. Even if you were never going to use it again, I don't know that you would go to the trouble to say, yeah, I don't want that one anymore. But you can.
There was a follow-up on that font one talking about the extended language fonts. So I'll go ahead and enable that and then load it and just show them how to use that. So once the table loads, I'll be able to
Extended labels. I mean, extended language.
And it's loading.
Yeah, mine takes a while. Doody. This is where Fantasy Grounds needs some sounds.
Yeah.
they need to pay for the Jeopardy sound. Jeopardy's not in production right now. They can probably get it cheap. For Griffin Enterprises.
The Clyde Monkey song, that would be okay too. It's a Sirenscape sound.
All right, so with that extension loaded, the extended language fonts, then you just come up here to options and click on languages. And this is where you define all the languages that are available. And you can just decide what the font is by clicking the drop down and selecting any of the new, almost, I think, 30 new fonts. So if we do Undercommon like that, we can select Undercommon and type something and we'll use the new font.
And gibberish because it's not going to matter anyway. Nobody can read it. It's all just bullshit characters. That's cool.
If you want to expand on the font sets that are used for the extended languages, this is a great way. There's like 30 or so new fonts that are usable.
So the halfling can have his own font now if you want.
Yeah, because fantasy. Look at that list. Fantasy Grounds defaults like Draconic and Dwarven and Elven. They're all used over and over and over again. So you could probably make each language, especially in a campaign where the DM is forcing the players to decipher something written down. Oh, nobody took. What's the one nobody ever takes that we always need? Orc, something.
In this last campaign. We kept needing Dwarven.
Oh, Dwarven.
Yeah.
And then finally somebody took, they just did one of their spells, read language or whatever, to get me done with it. But it's so funny when players make characters, there's certain tropes in character making, like, nobody ever takes mending, which you might need, and every wizard always takes fireball. There's certain, not fireball, but firebolt. There's certain tropes that get, and then you, as a DM, you can really mess with players, like make them read languages they can't know. But then now you can have all different fonts for them, so it's fun.
Speaking of mending, in today's afternoon game, so my DM, they broke our wagon wheel, and it's like, if only we had mending, we could fix the wagon wheel and be on our merry way. But no, nobody took mending.
Nope, because no one ever takes it. Because in order to take it, you have to give up a very valuable cantrip slot that you only have so many of, right?
I mean, honestly, you just need one attack cantrip and then put something into a utility slot, like mending or precipitation
Yeah,
or
Mending's
depending.
the perfect scroll cantrip. Let's
But
have like 3
I
scrolls
can't
with
tell you
mending
how many
on it.
times I've been fucked by taking just one attack cantrip, and then everything we play against is immune to fire. Well, fuck. I need another one. I need a different damage type.
Well,
But usually, unless you're I think there's a class that only gets 2, but most classes get 3 or 4. So yeah, 2 attacks and 1 utility. There's a rammer says always take mending, always take it. Never, always bet on black. Passenger 57. Anybody? Okay. Anyway, fonts, everybody. Cool shit.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Sometimes I do this. People don't know. I'm going to give away another prize. Whatever. You don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start another drawing, everybody. So, same keyword. Enter. If you're not Torpedo 62, you can enter again and type in the chat !sounds to enter the drawing, and I'll give away yet again another prize. And it'll be any item from the DM's Guild that you want with my name on it. It can be any of Matakiri's things. It can be whatever you want. And then we'll end the show because it's time. If you guys have any final questions, ask them now because this is your chance.
Or swing by the Discord and ask there.
What is this? What is 5e pickup games? Why is that still running? Oh my god. I gotta fucking shut that off. Holy shit.
I did that, Rob, on accident.
Oh, you did it. Okay. It doesn't
I did
run
what?
automatically.
I did what?
You can still trigger it. I didn't delete that, but I thought it played automatically. I didn't see that you typed what. Open play. Yep, you guys are just. It's so funny. I don't know what those goddamn commands are, but you guys do. This channel isn't even mine anymore. All right. Insanity. Oh, I turned that off, Bob. I turned that one off. Question for Team Tui. Anything new in the pipeline for the time? Yes. The answer is yes. I cannot say more than that. Yes, the answer is yes.
Answer's yes.
The answer is always yes. Especially if you mention something during a game. It's like, oh, okay, I'll have that in 20 minutes. All right, here's the winner, everybody. Rickens. Fuck, I don't know. How do you say that?
Rickens.
Well, congrats to Rickens.
And that was his first time chat.
Was it?
Enter Raffle, yeah.
Wow.
First time chat.
He's Marbanya. Marbanya when he came into the Discord, and he won 2 prizes, and I called him out and he hated me, and now we're good friends.
Rick from New Zealand.
Oh, very good. Oh, Rick from New Zealand. Very good. Congratulations. Okay, so since you're a first-time chatter, this is what you need to do. I'm going to give you a link in the Discord, in the Twitch right there. Click on that Discord link. Go to that Discord, and then send me a private message. Now, it might tell you have to wait 10 minutes, so I'll give you some extra time. Because I don't even think you can PM me for 10 minutes. I think that's a thing in Discord that I have set up. I don't know why I did that. But once you get in there, send me a message and just send me your Dungeon Masters Guild email and the item you want. and then I'll send it to you for free. And that's how it is. That's how easy it is. That's what I do. All right, let me go write his name down real quick before I forget. Rickens, Rick from New Zealand. He called himself a wiki?
And Moscow
Kiwi.
you have 11 minutes. 11 minutes.
Yeah, you have 11 minutes, not 10. Diablo Bob has been to Wellington. Well, yeah, congrats, Rick NZ, and welcome to the channel. He's already followed. He has followed. All right. Any final words from you, Matakire?
Enjoy playing Fantasy Grounds and see if any of my other extensions out there or any of the Rob Toohey Team Toohey extensions will make your game better.
That's right. We love it. And if you have questions in the future, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you have a question, come on in the Discord. The Discord link's available on my YouTube site, so if you're watching on YouTube, the link should be there somewhere. You can come on. It's in every video. So we appreciate Matakiri for coming by. Any final words from the lovely co-hosts?
Aw, Drake, he says you're lovely.
He is lovely.
I am lovely, but I am polite, so you go ahead.
Well, my final words are this has been a really great weekend. Thank you so much, Maggie, for coming on and kind of giving us an update of what you have going on.
And
All right.
and I got to say is if you want to see any of the Team Toohey extensions in play Saturday nights on Rob's channel, I run about 50 extensions and almost all of the Team Tooheys. So
That's right.
you get to see it live.
I have the slides going. So the slide you're looking at now is obviously tonight's show. We do run a game on Friday that Joe Numbers DMs with a few extensions. And then Saturdays, Drake runs a game with, I think, all of the extensions. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all in use. Maybe one or two of them aren't, but yeah, come on by. So thanks again, everybody, for hanging out at the show tonight. I hope to see you back on the channel on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And until next time, good gaming, everyone.